All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Super here, and welcome back to another Mortal Kombat 1 video. So, a few days ago, I uploaded a video titled Injustice 3 versus Mortal Kombat 2. I just want to say thank you guys for all the comments, giving your opinion. It's always appreciated. Always like reading through the comments and seeing what you guys think. But during that video, there was another question of people were like asking if I think that in Mortal Kombat 1 is done pretty much with DLC content. Because, obviously I made that video and people were wondering, do you think that, Mortal Kombat 1 is done supporting the game? And first of all, I just want to say no. I definitely do not think that Mortal Kombat 1 is done as far as supporting the game. But DLC content, that's another story. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So, as always, for these like question topic videos, so leave your comments down below in the comment section. Curious to know what you guys think. And also, leave a thumbs up on the video. It's always appreciated. I also want to mention one thing. It seems like YouTube has been really inconsistent with notifications, sending out notifications, letting my subscribers know that I'm uploading videos. You guys know I upload every day, so even if you have the bell turned on notifications, like my girlfriend tells me that she never gets notified when I stream, which is weird that YouTube has the bell turned on thing and they still don't send notifications out. So if you guys are ever wondering if I upload a video, just come and check the channel page and the video is going to be there. Because YouTube is very unreliable right now with notifications. But let's talk about this topic here. So I definitely do not think that Mortal Kombat is done getting updates, getting patches, getting character changes, maybe even new moves will be added in the future. But as far as DLC content, it's a tricky subject to, I guess it's a tricky question to answer for me now, because if you would have asked me this months ago, I would have told you, yeah, of course there's going to be more DLC characters. There's been data mines, and the data mines have not been wrong so far with characters like Conan the Barbarian, Ghostface, the T-1000. We knew that these characters were going to be in the game since pretty much day one. And then there's three other names that popped up in the data mine leaks that were in the same realm as Ghostface, T-1000, and Conan the Barbarian, which those characters had dialogue with pretty much the entire roster. And those names were Cassie Cage, Jade, and Kung Jin. So if you would have asked me, do you think there's going to be another combat pack later down the road? I would have said 100%. I definitely think that Kung Jin, Cassie, and Jade were going to be the final three DLC characters. But things have changed. They actually, so NetherRealm actually gave some of the intro dialogue that these characters that were data mined, they gave those intro dialogues they had to other characters. For example, I think Kung Jin had an intro dialogue that Takeda uses now. Same thing with Jade. Another character uses one of her intro dialogue. So that kind of lets me know that, hey, these characters might not actually be the characters that are going to be DLC content, or maybe they were and they're like scrapped. So they're using intro dialogue for those characters on other characters now. That could be an option, right? So now it's a little bit trickier to answer the question of, do I think Mortal Kombat 1 is done with DLC characters? I truly believe that they're not, just because for every new NetherRealm game, it seems like they add a little bit more content to it. So, for example, I think MKX had 8 DLC characters total. Wait, was it 8? Yeah, I think 8 DLC characters. Then Injustice 2 had, I think, 10. And then Mortal Kombat 11 had 12. And it makes sense for them to add just a little bit more content to their newest game. They always do support the new game longer than they supported the previous one, even if it's just for a little bit longer. But they're not lying in that department. They always do support the game for a little bit longer. And I do think that Mortal Kombat 1 will be supported with just a tiny bit more DLC content than the previous games. So if that's my belief, then I definitely do think that there will be more DLC characters down the road. I don't think it's going to be a lot. I think that the most that they would do is 3. I think 3 more. and I don't think they're going to be guest characters. I think they're going to be 3 Mortal Kombat characters, because they do have 3 consecutive guest characters coming out, with Ghostface first, which we still don't even know when he's coming out. I would like to know, NetherRealm. Thank you very much. T1000 and Conan. It's pretty clear that Conan is going to be the final one. T1000 is going to be the second one, and Ghostface is going to be the first of those 3. So it kind of makes sense for them to have 3 Mortal Kombat characters as the final DLC for, Mortal Kombat 1. Have those come out consecutively, and then release the complete edition, which whenever NetherRealm has a complete edition of their game, that's the seal stamp of, we're done with this game. Enjoy all the content in it. People didn't believe me when the complete edition came out for Mortal Kombat 11. I was like, all right, guys, once the complete edition is done, that's it. They're not adding any more DLC. And some people were in denial, and guess what happened? They never added more DLC after that. So whenever that complete edition comes out, that's a seal, the stamp of, we're done with the game. We're moving on to the next one. But I definitely do think that there's going to be more DLC characters. I don't think Mortal Kombat 1 is done yet with DLC content. I do think there's going to be another pack of 3 DLC characters, which will lead into year 2, or I guess year 3 of Mortal Kombat 1. And then after those characters, I think we will be done with Mortal Kombat 1. And the focus for NetherRealm is going to be 100% on the next game. So just to answer the question, I do think that Mortal Kombat 1 will have more DLC characters. And no, I do not think it's done. I actually don't think it's even close to being done as far as support and update. I definitely think MK1 will be updated up until probably early to 2026. I think this game is going to be supported for a very long time. I think Mortal Kombat 11 stopped getting support in mid 2021, I think. So it came out 2019, I think April 2019. From 2019, 2020, 2020, 2021, pretty much 2 years of supporting the game with new updates and, balance changes and everything. I think Mortal Kombat 1 will pass that by a little bit. Let's see, 2023, 2024, 2025, and then early 2026. I think that's going to be the life cycle of Mortal Kombat 1. And I actually do think that they're going to be keeping that September release date. I think it was a pretty good release date for them, even though the drop-off was insane. But that was more the negativity on Mortal Kombat 1 and how incomplete it felt at the time. So I think the release window's great, though. I actually do like that September release as opposed to the April release. So I definitely think that their next game is going to be released in September. I think it's going to be released in September 2026. That's just me personally, because if they already know what they are going to be working on 3 years ago, there's definitely, I think they're deep into development now for sure, getting that ready. But obviously Chaos Reigns just came out. They're still going to be focusing a lot on Mortal Kombat 1, and I definitely think they're going to be updating the game, supporting the game for at least year 3, the whole year 3. So we still have this entire year to go to year 2, and then we're going to have that year 3 where I don't think there's going to be any more DLC characters, but I definitely think that the game will still be supported with patches and updates and pretty much everything except for new DLC characters. But I think after the 3 guest characters for Chaos Reigns, we're probably going to have a few months in between, maybe about 2 months in between that and the announcement of another combat pack. I truly, truly do believe that we're going to get 3 more DLC characters down the road. Do I think that it's going to be the characters that were data mined? No, I actually do not think that anymore. Even though the data mining has not been wrong so far. I will say this, if it is Kung Jin, Cassie, and Jade that are the 3 DLC characters, I'll be happy with that too. Obviously, Cassie's one of my favorite characters ever. I really just hope that they get back to the MKX style Cassie, where she was straight up a shit talker and she was, just badass overall, really fun to play. Yeah, Cassie in this game would be crazy fun to play if they incorporated a lot of her Mortal Kombat X variations into one character. So that would be a lot of fun. But I think the best case scenario for me would be they just shock us and they just release the trailer and nobody knows who the characters are going to be. Having a surprise and not knowing who's going to be in the combat pack, for example, like whenever they announced the Ninja Turtles in Injustice 2 and they showed off the Ninja Turtles for the first time in the reveal trailer, the hype was insane. It was like trending on Twitter for like 2 days. It was crazy because nobody expected the Turtles to be in the game. If they could somehow keep it a secret what 3 characters are going to be in the next combat pack, if there is a combat pack, and then they just release a trailer with nobody knowing who the characters are going to be until they actually watch the trailer, that's like the best case scenario, and I hope that's the direction they go in. But if it ends up being Cassie, Kung Jin, and Jade, then I'll be cool with that too. But I do believe that Mortal Kombat 1 is still going to receive a bunch of updates, and I do believe that they're going to come out with one more combat pack, and then they'll have 15 DLC characters in the game. That is a lot of DLC characters, and that is a lot of support for the game. So I'm looking forward to see, 6 months from now, if I'm right or I'm completely wrong, and the negativity that Chaos Reigns received with the story mode and everything, if Warner Brothers sort of like scrap that decision to add another combat pack to this game, because that is a very real possibility. If Warner Brothers, believes that it's not worth it to keep supporting the game with extra DLC characters, obviously the game will still be supported through updates and everything, but Warner Brothers is the one that makes the decision on the DLC characters and all that, the marketing. So if Warner Brothers is like, all right, Chaos Reigns didn't do as well as we wanted to, focus on the next game, that's what's going to happen. So that's a very real possibility too. So I'm curious to see what happens. I would probably say, about 4 to 6 months, we'll know what's going to be happening. So that's it for me, guys. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. I always love talking about these kind of questions, sort of like hypothetical, because to me, sometimes it's more fun like trying to guess what's going to happen, because then once you know what's going to happen, you just know what's going to happen. But before we know anything, it's fun for me to do speculation videos. That's why it's always like really fun before a game comes out. Like, man, is this character going to be in here? What kind of play style is this character going to have? Blah, blah, blah. I love talking, some of these hypothetical questions that we will get answers to in the future. But for now, that's all I got. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.